Complexity wins this series, it guarantees both Complexity and Team It's Gosu are moving on to the quarterfinals. So we could have that information after today's match, at least from Group B. Which two teams are going to be moving on? Well, it would be them two. Now, as far as who's going to be first and second, which definitely still plays a big role because, you know, the seeding in that quarterfinal stage is very important.
Right.
It won't be 100%, but at least we'll know which two teams are going to be moving on. So unless FiT makes this comeback here in the series, we will be seeing those two teams in the quarterfinals. But FiT, can they do it? Yes, they can. I think it's safe to say. It's just, will they be able to do it here? So,
yeah, and the blind bands that have come out so far, Jerizai and Tundra, again, nothing too different here coming out from Complexity. I think they did the same exact thing, in fact. Wait, no, they didn't. Blind band Tundra, I believe, is Jerizai and I forget. I actually forget who the other hero was.
FiT.
FiT, that's right. Was, yeah. And then I never understand, as we've talked about this time and time again, why Legion would ban Tundra if you're first position. And, well, maybe they just don't have a strong Tundra player, but then at the same time, you're like, well, you're the top. You're supposed to be the top teams in the world. Why don't you have a Tundra player?
Exactly, yeah.
So,
it's not really an excuse you can have at this level, yeah.
Yeah, so they do ban Tundra and Ophelia. The locks happened quite quickly after the initial long lock from Araxis. Then we got Pebbles Plague, Andromeda Kronos. That's a very fun hero to watch, and I love Kronos. And then Bubbles, again, locked from B-Kid. The banning phase comes out. Silhouette Fade from B-Kid. The Dark Lady Draconis. Again, we're seeing a lot of the same things happen from the first game. And, well, there's a reason for that. B-Kid values those heroes. And Mage Bane now banned. So all of those carries there are banned. You're going to have to use something else.
You're Forsaken next in line, perhaps.
There's still Monkey King.
Yeah, still Monkey King. But I was going to say, with Fade being banned, I was like, you know what, FiT, unless they plan on first picking Fate Mage Bane here, they really should go ahead and ban Mage Bane. Sure enough, they did. So, yeah, seen those four. By the way, quick note, again, this is kind of flying through, but really quick shout-out to the DreamHoN party once again. Every single day coming back at you. DreamHoN Space Party in-game. The channel led the way by Xander K, our S2 Games Community Manager. It's a chance to chat about what's on HoNcast, the match at hand, as well as win some gold coin prizes and by answering some questions. And even Tralfamador just actually joined once again. So you get the chance to actually join a chat channel that has Tralfamador in it.
That's right.
And you can actually even talk with him. So wouldn't that be something? So definitely check it out,
Though
guys.
Don't feel offended if I don't answer you because I, am kind of casting this game for
You're a busy guy.
right now.
You're a busy guy. Understandable. But yeah, anyways, back to this game, though. The banning phase has finished. Nymphora, actually, the final ban right there. And that definitely makes a lot of sense. Of course, if you gave FiT Nymphora, not only does Pandy love to play Nymphora, but they could have comboed that with your Pebbles, of course, from the lockpick pool. So, strong lock there coming out from Complexity. I wouldn't be surprised to see an Glacius or a Luna here, honestly.
Yeah.
First pick.
And also, we never really talk about this hero, but I think he's a bit underrated, and there's a reason why Fly, when they played a lot of Han, they always banned this hero. But Parasite's very, very strong, and especially when you have a hero pool lock pool that's quite aggressive, with Andromeda, Pebbles, Meraxis, it could work very, very well. But they do go with the first pick, Behemoth. I have no problem with that. I think it's a very, very strong hero. I actually wouldn't be surprised to see Luna and Glacius both picked up here from Complexity to take away really all those good supports. Nymphora is banned. Now, Andromeda is in the pool, but she's a very, very short-ranged support hero at that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Luna picked up here.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same exact thing. So great minds think alike, I guess. Yeah, so Glacius scores the first pick. Luna wouldn't be surprising. They are using a bit of extra time now. But we'll see what they ultimately go with here as that next pickup. Of course, you do have Andromeda, you know, Plague Rider as well, which can be played in that support role. But usually you like to see him more in that suicide lane, especially with that deny effect. But instead we are going to see Polywog Priest, which I don't think you can necessarily argue too much against that, though, by any means, coming out from Complexity. So this does open the door for FiT now to pick up a Luna if they would like to here for their side. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think actually Witchlayer synergizes a bit better with Glacius than Poly, but I have no problem with Poly. I think he's an extremely strong hero. The wards make him such a force to deal with. So I love the hero, but I just feel like Witchlayer is more of Complexity style, and especially again with that lock pool being so aggressive, I think Witch would have been a little bit better, but. Again, to each their own. I wouldn't be surprised now to see Luna picked up. The way Luna synergizes with Behemoth is just perfect. It's so good. It's like very, very cookie cutter. I love it. I really hope they do it. And as far as after that, they have a ton of options. I feel like we're going to see a weird curveball pick here.
Well,
FiT.
You got to be careful though. Again, this goes back to the strategy of there is that Chronos there, but if you first pick perhaps that Pebbles or even Moraxis or something like that, then it wouldn't, depending on how Complexity, of course, finishes with their picking phase, they could go Chronos and kind of screw you over with the lack of carry potential. So that's where I see the Forsaken Archer pick up there. Again, can't say I'm too surprised by that. And sure enough, a Luna. So I think actually some very powerful choices, and right away, Complexity knew what they were going with. They go with the snap pick Warbeast to finish off the picking phase here, Ralph.
Yeah, I think actually Bubbles would be very, very like a high priority pick right here, because you do not. First of all, Bubbles synergizes very, very well with Warbeast. You can tell why. He kelp fields him, holds him in place. Warbeast just ults and does his thing. But he also is very, very good against Warbeast, because despite Warbeast having that non-collision, they do go with Bubbles. So I don't understand the Moraxis pick one bit. But yeah, the snap pick basically that Bubbles and that Pebbles, and now Plague Moraxis probably with the lane, solo FA maybe in a Luna Behemoth, or I don't know, some variation of that. Not quite sure, but Bubbles would have been so good here for FiT. Again, you guys don't rush things. Just really think about how the heroes would actually play against each other. I didn't really get to finish, but yeah, Bubbles, like kelp field, Warbeast having haste with his ultimate doesn't matter, because when you're stuck in that kelp field, you have nowhere to go. So.
Yeah. Very, very good point. And man, I on the same boat as you. If that they gave them that Pubbles combination, and that is deadly, man. Because not only is it just not only are just two very powerful heroes, but the lanes make perfect sense. Now they got, of course, Glacius Pebbles. We talk about that lane, behind perhaps Nymphora Pebbles, but still Glacius Pebbles in its own right. Very, very powerful. You got your Warbeast jungle, Polywar Priest, and Bubbles taking care of the solo roles. Again, this is just very, very powerful lane setup here. Coming out from Complexity, and the fact that it did get Bubbles, keeping it out of the hands of FiT, as you were talking about, especially against a Warbeast, is also good news for Complexity. So Warbeast is going to be played by Chessie, by the way. And you know what? I want to bring up about Chessie real quick. Obviously, he did have a great game as Tempest last game, no surprise there. But Chessie is kind of he's the newest player on Complexity, of course. I was talking to you about this the other day, even. I've actually been watching Chessie's stream a couple of times now, here and there. He's a damn good player, man. I know he's been around the scene for a while. His name's been out there. I mean, it's not like unpopular by any means, but I've never really known him to be like a really elite player. But I can see perfectly why. Not only why Complexity picked him up as their fifth, but why he is part of the team, because he is a very, very skilled individual, and I actually enjoy watching his stream because of that. So, big shout out to him. He
really was the shining star of its Gosu when he played for them. It's kind of similar when you see not to kind of put down anybody else in its Gosu when he was playing for them, but it's like when we remember Era played for Dirty Minds, and it was like once he got on that team that had that he synergized with well and other very, very good players, he just really thrived. And before that, he kind of really couldn't break into the scene because he was held back a little bit. I feel like that's the same with Chessie. I mean, Chessie's a fantastic player. Again, I think he was just the ace of its Gosu. And he's also a very, very nice guy. I met him in real life at DreamHack, and I've actually rang for him a bit, went way back a long time ago for its Gosu, and I've played with him quite a bit. He's a nice guy, great player, fantastic, very, very versatile player as well. And yeah, he does a lot of the same things I do as far as item pickups and things like that. I'm looking right now at his Warbeast, and that's exactly what I would have gotten as far as items. So yeah, he's a fantastic player.
Now, you see what FiT's doing right here. There are 4 players up at the top lane. Of course, they have a couple Ward of Sights, both on Behemoth. They're not going up there just yet, though. There is a Hellhound here, but instead they're going to try to sneak around. But you look at the mini-map, they should be able to get this Ward of Sight down fairly easily, actually. Because of how the minimap's set up. You already got Bubbles at the bottom lane, of course. Warby sitting in the base, of course, spawning those Hellhounds, scouting out with them, sitting in the base so that he can get the mana regen to eventually start this game. Of course, the jungles don't spawn until 30 seconds after the horn blows, and Haxrin is just sitting here in the middle lane. So, again, FiT playing this very carefully, almost sneaky-like, but this the Hellhound will spot them, and so this whole sneak attack isn't going to really work out too effectively for FiT, so I definitely give them credit for a fun idea there, but obviously you see Pandy talking about Chessie, of course, playing that Warbeast. Spotting him is like, well, you just ruined our strategy again. I don't think that we're going to get anything out of it, honestly, from how the setup was looking, but it is a little bit unfortunate for their point of view that their sneak attack got a little bit taken away. But we are going to see a block here on the camp, I'm sure, coming out from Archie Tiger. Of course, playing the Behemoth, and we are going to see a tri-lane up top as well as a result of that. So tri-lane top, we got Moraxis solo mid, and Plague Rider actually in the short lane even. So how do you think this is going to fare here for FiT?
Well, they're actually going to try to gank. Oh, they're probably looking for this War Beast here, but Chessie's actually going to go to the bottom because he realizes there's going to be an aggressive tri-lane up here. Forsaken Archer, you got to be really, really careful there. But this is actually really good laning from FiT. Actually, very good laning. Bubbles being played by Moonmeander yet again. Decided to go for that boots first and is going to have a hell of a time here against a short lane Plague Rider if Plague Rider plays this correctly. But actually, he's actually losing a bit in CS right there. It was just a start. But he should be just fine. And again, Moonmeander is actually getting a lot of denies right there. Plague is 0 and 1. But yeah, no, if they do this right, this top lane should do very well against this Pebbles. In theory, he shouldn't get any farm at all. Now, Meraxis against Poly. Meraxis has the right items with the Shield Hatchet. He's going to do just fine. And I think Haxon knew that Meraxis was going to go mid because he did buy an early mana battery. So maybe get those charges up from those axes. Not quite sure. Now, the only thing... Oh, okay, good. Warbeast is actually getting very favorable spawns. The best spawns you can get, basically, are the Skeleton Kings. Because they do very little damage, but they give a decent bounty as well. And they're in the hard camp, so... yeah, very good spawns there from Chessie. That I'm sure he'll be very happy to do that. And we're probably going to see some roaming again, from Glacius. He realizes the fact that they cannot win this lane if he's up there, so it's useless for him to be there. This is exactly what good teams do. And so he's gonna utilize his time effectively and maybe try to get a gank here in the mid. It might not be successful, but the point is he can't do anything top, so he's gonna try to find something else to do.
Yeah, he's also gonna stack the camp even for Warbeast here in the jungle to stack the yellow camp. So Warbeast is now gonna come out, take out these Ubulas, and find a Snotter Boss camp as well. So that'll help farm efficiently for him. You see him moving back and do a little bit of micro in there, trying to keep the Hellhounds from dying. But sure enough, will, but of course going to be able to respawn them. And it'd be more than fine by a bottom lane. Plague Rider, big dive right here. In comes Glacius, though, with a haste, and the Ice Imprisonment going to be used. Only level 1, but still, will this be enough? He's going to try to turn this instead on a Bubbles. It's not going to be enough, though. The Mana Battery, no, that wasn't even a Mana Battery. It's Shell Support from Moonmeander coming out. I thought it might have been a Mana Battery. I guess he just ate a tree, so it was just natural regen coming out. And able to survive. Now in the middle lane, they did actually get a kill on the Haxorn as well, playing that Polywire Priest. You see a Luna and Behemoth assisting in that. But the Bloodlust kill did go out, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it did go out in favor of Complexity right there, as the roaming Glacius working out effectively here.
Yeah, and Chessie's kind of doing some do-si-doing. He knew that they just ganked mid, and this is why he's such a great player. These are the things that you don't really see, but just his movement right there, what he did, so heads up and so good. He knew that they ganked mid. He was trying to position himself in a way where he could kind of dodge their, where they were. And it was perfect. Like, just his movement. It's hard to explain, but his movement was perfect. He now knows that they're going to go bottom. They're going to apply some pressure to Bubbles. I don't agree with that, really. But if they can get a kill with it, that'd be great. Stun comes out on the wrong side. I'm sure Bubbles will be just fine. Actually, a lot of damage coming out. My God, I really underestimated how much damage and burst that was. And Moonmeander actually does get taken out. So, really good job there. But I hope they don't leave this FA up here. Because what's going to happen to FA's... this Glacius is going to come back up here. Actually, FA applying a lot of damage and pressure there to B-Kid. But he does have that salve, so he will regen that up. But Glacius is going to march on up back to the top lane. And good. Luna came right back, so that's exactly what they had to do. Great job.
Well, yeah, you also see the double ward attack, and one block in the camp and the one in the top rune. So wouldn't necessarily be ganked, obviously, with the positioning, but you're right. They definitely could have started supporting Pebbles, and Pebbles could have started coming back into this. But that's the last thing that the Legion team needs. So, again, great job with the Luna coming back up here. And you just see Jonas and Fan on Forsaken Archer, and just every single time she gets the chance to attack Pebbles, she's doing it. And Pebbles, with that very weak armor, one of the weakest, if not the weakest, going to get comboed right here in the final auto attack coming out. Great job from Luna, being played by Panic, or sneaking and eating through the trees, actually, to kind of get a little bit of a path cut through to get the kill. So very effective start here for FiT. As you got Jonas and Pan again, 300 gold per minute now on Forsaken Archer. Not even leading the way, though, as Meraxis is actually on top, being played here by Probusk. As you see at the bottom lane, Bubbles is going to get taken out. Great fissure block right there from Behemoth that completely screwed up the pathing. And Plague Rider, being played by Sequence, actually comes out with a kill. So yeah, great job. And now Warbeast just in a lot of trouble. Forsaken Archer has a crippling volley. Can he hit it? Yes, he can. Of course he can. And now comes the kill, but at what cost right here? Not going to be able to get away. Good job from Pebbles and Glacius, at least, getting a response out of it and getting a counter kill. But FiT is stepping up their game here in game number 2.
That was actually Chessie that got that kill there at the end, too. Kind of interesting, but I guess he needs it, because when you don't get an early Abyssal Skull, or it was, don't get an early Abyssal Skull on Warbeast, your farm ends up being really, really bad. And actually, you mentioned one thing, how Peter Pan Dam or Franzi stacking that camp there. Actually, the stun coming out onto Polywall from Behemoth in mid, but nothing's really going to happen with that. But you mentioned that Franzi stacking that camp for Warbeast. Generally, you never want to stack for Warbeast because it's actually too hard to farm it early on. So I wonder if Chessie was like, dude, get away, don't stack this for me, because it's actually quite hard to farm it. Now it's a little bit easier in that small camp, but I did see actually he was struggling in that. And actually, Chessie might get roamed on here. He does have boots early on. Oh, I don't know about that. It's good because he is trying to avoid the gank, and actually it might have saved his life right there. So in that regard, I do agree with that pickup.
Well, I was going to say it's definitely... Oh, nice axe hit right there, actually, from ProBoss. That's going to set up an Emerald Lightning. Are we going to see a Crippling Volley here? The next axe will miss, but in comes Behemoth. Crippling Volley. Stalagmite's missing as well. Great sidestep right there. Aluna dropping quickly, but a great Crippling Volley. Glacier's going to fall. The Ward Traps come out, though. Hacks are going to do a lot of damage with these wards. Forsaken, and Aluna will go down. Miraxis letting them know who the hell he is, though. Jonathan Fan got his illusion off just before, and it actually got him another kill onto Chessie, actually, playing that Warbeast. Now Miraxis chasing Pebbles. He does not have enough mana for a Quakes, and he's going to explode right there, do a little bit extra damage. But Pebbles like, get the hell off me, bro, and just chucks him away. And so Miraxis will oblige. But, oh my god, that was a crazy team fight. Early on in this game, we had a huge team fight there in the jungle. The only hero not there, I believe, was actually Plague Hunter and Bubbles, so I guess one for each team. But a 4 versus 4 pretty much taking place up there, which FiT actually, you can argue, came out on top even.
Yeah, I love watching B-Kid play Pebbles, by the way. He plays in a really fun manner. He really utilizes that toss very, very well. And good job by him. He is having a very, very hard time, though, I will say. He's 13-1, so mission accomplished from Team FiT. They're doing a great job. Really, really smart roaming around from Archie Tiger. He's not being static up here in the top lane. He's really moving around. And actually, the stun comes out to Polywog, and he probably will follow the Hex to follow, but will it be enough? The W used actually by Miraxis. That might have been the wrong decision. No, the Polywog's actually... I actually think he could have just kept running. Yeah. Because... with that W spell activated by Miraxis, he ran out of mana, so Haxon, I feel like he could have actually just ran away and lived, but unfortunately tried to do something. Maybe he just thought he was going to die for sure. I don't know about that one, but anyway. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you're right, though, in the sense of there was no reason to use a W. The Hex was already used, so what is Polywog Priest going to do? Turn around and use a Tongue Tide? Obviously, Behemoth was there, so that's not going to be useful. So, yeah, that was really just kind of a dirt moment there, almost by ProBuskingary. Maybe he thought support was coming, which is a valid excuse, actually, when it's all said. Because, again, we do get God Vision. We can see everything. Of course, so it's a little bit easier for us to say that, but... You know, just playing it safe, I guess. But they still got the kill, so obviously that's what matters. Yeah, it is. And again, I was talking about Archie Tiger right there. He's doing a fantastic job this game. He's 5-0-1. He's moving around. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. And, yeah, so really good job by him. Plague Rider doing well in the bottom lane. I actually think he should be doing even a little bit better. But Bubbles is having a hard time. That deny. Actually, he does hit level 6, so Bubbles have a TP. I assume this is exactly what they need to do on Complexity's side to get back in this game. Bubbles is going to kind of hide here. Wait for a pristine time to TP and really get that level 6 ultimate into play right away. Yeah. And it's a very, very effective tool, especially with Warbeast. You'll see it. It's just great. It does so much damage, and it keeps it in place and allows Warbeast to really, really shine. Well, we see Miraxis, man. I mean, Miraxis has had a hell of a game, though, here in the middle of the lane. We talked about a little bit maybe of a questionable moment there, but again, they still got the kill. He's 1-0-2, 340 gold per minute. Bottom lane in the meantime, Chessie coming in with his level 6. Not going to activate it, though. Great fissure block right there once again. Coming out from Archie Tiger, actually, and completely forcing Complexity to fall back. So Pebbles, Glacius, and the Warbeast were going in for a gank, but probably the better decision because now support is here from Miraxis. They are going to run over a Ward of Revelation as well as even a Ward of Sight that was placed here by Franzi, of course. And so not going to really find anybody, but we'll be able to clean up a little bit and maybe even pressure the tower now as a result of this. So you talk about, I mean, Bubbles and Plague Rider have both just been doing their thing here at the bottom lane. In fact, Plague Rider going, he does have an ultimate. Will it be enough for the kill? Is there going to see Shell Sir Plague Rider? There comes the ultimate. The final auto attack. No, get it off, get it off. Oh my god, the port happens. And as a result, Sequence does not get the kill. Ooh, that was big right there. Using a big ultimate to not even get 1% kill. We do see in the middle lane, though, a lot of pressure being applied. Quakeson will hit Polywog Priest. Stalagmite's coming out, but it's Miraxis for Christ's sake. Ultimate activated. A down's going to go Haxer, and Wards go down first, though. And now you see Behemoth is in the midst of it all, but you see Warbeast, Chessie coming in with that ulti, his hasted speed. Going to chase him down, and of course, you see him getting the Hellhound chucked from Pebbles, picks up a counter kill. So actually ends up being a 2-for-1 exchange there in the middle lane, but yet the bottom lane, Plague Rider missing a big kill opportunity. Granted, he's going to now free farm once again. Yeah, I really think these... I don't even think he should have attempted the ultimate. I mean, we could be like, oh yeah, he got really close. It was really, really close. He shouldn't even be trying to ultimate the Bubbles because if Bubbles covers it, you're going to waste your ulti completely. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I really think he needs to use these ultimates in team fights. Like, you're level 8. Oh, actually, this is exactly why Bubbles is so good. You get those mass TPs, not even mass, just one TP right there. And actually very, very close there to kill that Forsaken Archer. Jonas Fan actually gets the, oh no, the Bubbles Shell Surf will actually kill him as well as the Song of the Sea. So, yeah, right there, good job by Moon moving around, using that Kelt field. And they will get the deny on the tower as well, so kind of sloppy play coming out from FiT. And actually, Beaka gets a good kill on Panny. And now even Plague Rider's kind of feeding himself. What is going on here, FiT? Kind of throwing this game away. Another kill on B-Kid. Double tap as well as a serial killer. So what is going on? Plague just kind of wastes the ultimate bottom, then comes top and just kind of suicides himself.
Yeah, very, very silly right there. I mean, Forsaken Archer, that was just a great play, again, as you mentioned, by Bubbles, with that kill fit to hold him in place and eventually getting the kill. But, yeah, what Aluna and Polywop Priest were kind of doing now, again, it is a little bit easier for us with all the vision that we have, but at that point, you know, you shouldn't be blindly going into the jungle like that at this point in the game. You see them missing on the map. Obviously, Pebbles was there, completely cleaned up Aluna, and then Plague Rider's just way too pushed up by himself at that point to have any reason to be there. So, again, Probusk throwing more access. He's still doing his part here in the middle lane. He is 2-0-2, 350 gold per minute, actually. He's got his Steam Boots, and he has 1,300 gold saved up, so he is on his way to that possible portal key. But, you know, because of some mistakes here and there, this has bought a lot of time now, and you do see Warby's 340 gold per minute himself, as there we go, finally finishing an Abyssal Skull, actually. He even went Steam Boots first before that Abyssal Skull. So, yeah, a little bit different route as far as items go. But still, he has at least that combo now.
It's a smart decision. He realizes the roaming potential and the aggression coming out from FiT. And he knows he can't really just sit in the jungle and just kind of wait for the items to come to him. He's got to move around and stay alive. So he went for that early kind of, you know, survivability with the Steam Boots. And it's really paid off, actually. And his farm's doing really well. He's actually he's not the top farmer in the game. Actually, Probusk is. So Probusk, just again, I mentioned this last game, but he's kind of under the radar. Yeah. Very, very solid player. Every single time I've watched him play, he just always makes the right decisions, always plays well, and he's having a hell of a time in the mid. And that, you know, you have to attribute that also to the Archie Tiger. He's been roaming around for him, setting out some good games from Behemoth. He's now 1-1-6, so he's been involved in 7 of the 9 kills. So good job from him. But yeah, again, just the logic of kind of using your ultimate on a Bubble's bottom, but then without your ultimate coming up to gank top. It's kind of like seems, you know, like the opposite. You'd want to maybe go up top and then use your ultimate in a team fight and then go farm when you don't have your ultimate, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, B-Kid on the other end, too. I mean, he got off to a slow start for good reason. Again, it was a very difficult lane for him, but he is starting to recover now. He's got Steam Boots, and he actually has 1,500 gold saved up, so not really choosing to go any more region other than the mana battery that he has. Looks like he's going to go straight for that portal key now. With all the gold that he is actually pulling up here, and with the way that he's farming again at this top lane, wouldn't be surprised to see that actually very soon, which would just be very good for this Hellborn team again, especially with the start that he had. Now at the bottom lane, somewhat of a push attempt coming out. He's got a Luna level 5, also Forsaken Archer, even piercing arrows used right there. So going to get a good amount of farm, but questioning it a little bit if that was really worth it, actually.
Well, she thought she had Bubbles in that volley.
Oh, okay.
It was very, very close, but he did take cover. So yeah, a little hasty of a decision to use that there. It's very easy to actually take cover of that volley as a Bubbles, so I wouldn't have used that there. But he had good intentions, and it wasn't the worst decision in the world. But
yeah, I remember the other day there was that one Forsaken Archer. I forget that game where he just kept on using it randomly.
On everything.
It's like, oh, what, creep wave coming up? I'm just going to go ahead and use it right here to farm. He did it like 5 or 6 times. But anyways.
And then he would auto-attack the Ancients.
Yeah. Go over to the Ancients.
Ulti the 4 creeps in the lane.
Exactly, yeah. I want to get these as soon as possible. Moraxis does have his portal key, or has enough gold at least. He has 2,200 gold, so, and there we go. Sure enough, purchases the portal key, and it's going to be on its way here for, again, Probusk playing that Moraxis. So perhaps that's the big item here for FiT, where they're going to start trying to maybe look to take big advantage of it. We are tied at 9 hero kills apiece here, 14 minutes into the game, but right as we see that portal key on Moraxis, as I'll say, man, B-Kid here on Pebbles. He's been recovering farm. In fact, right away gets the portal key and jumps on a Forsaken Archer in the matter of a couple of seconds even. Very efficient use of the newly picked up portal key there by Pebbles. I mean, that was literally 5 seconds, I think, in between him purchasing the portal key and getting a kill with it right away on Forsaken Archer, nonetheless.
Well, this is where morale is going to go down. You got to be like, oh my god, why does Pebbles have a Steam Boost portal key in 14 minutes when we try lane against him? He got nothing up top. And so what happened? I mean, they just kind of misplayed it. Some bad feeds there coming out. towards the kind of, I don't want to say 10-minute mark. And yeah, jumped Pebbles back in the game, but good job at BKid using that right away, getting that surprise factor. Mass TPs coming out in the bottom lane, but the stun coming out. Miraxid with the portal key actually gets a lot. Behemoth catches him, and the Plague Ultimate actually doesn't hit that much, but a very, very good exchange. A double tap coming out for Probus. The Glacial Downpour actually doing quite a bit of damage, but I think he's going to die because of it. He actually doesn't have a TP. Yeah, that was kind of just a pointless Glacial Blast. His whole team was dead.
I tell you this much, Probusk, man. Yeah, that was pretty hilarious. He actually he did a little bit of damage to Aluna, but yeah, that was at a point of like, well, that was kind of silly, but man, Probusk, what a freaking jump right there. That could not have been, that was picture perfect initiation right there. I mean, he literally got, it's one of those moments now, granted, we talk about this all the time, where he went for it all. It just so happened that he got the home run. Now, we do see a lot of cases where you go for it all and you strike out getting nothing or even just one, but he got it all, and that set up the perfect synergy. You mentioned the Plague Rider ultimate, it only bounced once. Well, that was because they got all those kills. However, Forsaken Archer, again, pushing up the lane by himself, and rinse and repeat, just like seems like even a minute later, BKid does the same exact thing with both Bubbles and Poliwag Free. So all that good news, not all taken away by any means, but still, that as you said right before that, even the momentum, just the mentality here of how it's like, how did Pebbles get that portal key so quickly after getting so shut down in the early game? It just sucks.
Yeah, the unnecessary death from FA now twice. Well, the first one was not his fault. He didn't know the portal key was up. Although you got to kind of, when you're in a game like this, you always have a feel for kind of how much gold someone has. And so even when he doesn't know that Pebbles has a portal key for sure, you got to kind of have an idea. And regardless, standing up there against the, this is why Bubbles again is so good. Actually, Bubbles now has his portal key. It's very, very, you got to really play back a lot further than you think you have to. But again, yeah, you were mentioning Probusk. Fantastic jump right there. I mean, that was perfect. And it synergizes so well with Aluna and Behemoth. They were able to follow up with stuns as well. A lot of long-range damage coming out from them. And then, Probusk being the Miraxis of his tanky nature. Really good initiation there. It bounced them back a little bit, but that death from Forsaken Archer actually put them back in a deficit. So they're now just a small deficit, 1K gold, 800 experience. But now Chessie is actually getting a lot of farm, tied with the top farm in the game with Probusk at about 393, 392 gold per minute. And let's see what kind of items he has. He's got an Ogre, a Mighty Blade. And he's got about, so maybe it's just that straight Shrunken Head, which I think is a fine pickup, actually, especially against this Miraculous and this Plague Rider.
Well, while Chessie's farming up there, the Hellborn team, they actually came here into the Legion jungle, and they took out 2 triple stack camps. And again, it's one of those things where it almost seems like it's a minor deal, minor part of the game. It took maybe 20 seconds or so, 20, 30 seconds, but it adds up, man. I mean, not only is that a gold gain for them, but it takes away from the possible gold gain that FiT could have had. So just very good job right there from Complexity, stealing the camps. And you look at it, after that big team fight, even after Forsaken Archer got picked off, it was actually pretty identical when it came to gold difference. Now you look at it, all of a sudden a 2,000 gold lead for Complexity, because not only was it that, but they also went to their, I believe, at least double-stacked, if not triple-stacked Ancients, and picked that off. So the gold swing, again, these elite teams like Complexity is, of course, it's showing, that why they're up here, why they're considered one of the best teams. It's just small things like that continue to add up here. Portal Key also finished on Bubbles, we picked that up at least. You got Poliwag Priest. He's going to have a Portal Key very likely in the near future. He has 1,500 gold saved up himself, so Haxerin doing a very good job in that sense. So the PKs, that's going to be the third PK here for Complexity, and that's going to be a lot of jump-in potential, of course, coming out for them.
Oh, wow, and just as you talked about them taking the farm, they're taking the triple stack Ancients coming out with Glacial Downpour even coming out. And this is exactly what you don't want. And look at this gold swing just going up massively without anything really happening other than just farming. So now 3,400 in both experiencing gold. And actually now it bounces back a little bit with the tower kill there. But yeah, this utilization of taking the farm from the other team in their jungle when they spent that time stacking it even is really big for Complexity. So good heads-up play right there from the entire team.
Bubbles, shell surfing, not porting in though. Obviously, a big push out coming out from the Hellborn. Look at Behemoth in the background, who, by the way, has a portal key himself now. Actually, that's huge. Yeah. That is really big here for the Legion team. So he's playing very passive, of course, as you would expect. And I don't know if he's shown it yet. That goes back to the surprise factor. They're going to get this bottom tower kill, or are they? Holy crap! Somebody kill it! Wow. They nearly missed the tower kill. That would have been embarrassing. Everyone fell back. Literally no one was charging in. They almost missed it. Man, Probusk had to save the day. as he portal keyed back in to steal or to take it. But the top tower was pushing in the meantime, so that was actually a pretty good counter push from Complexity. But still, you know, at least FiT did close the gold gap a little bit right there. With the tower kills, but yeah, the portal kill on Behemoth, that is a big deal, and again, I don't think he's actually shown it yet, at least from what I've seen. So we'll see if they maybe get an opportunity to use it and get an effective kill out of it. Pebbles at the bottom lane, he looks like the candidate here. If they can do it quickly, where are we going to see that jump? Oh, Moraxis misses! What reaction from B-Kid coming out right there. Wow, very quick portal key reaction from B-Kid.
Yeah, that was just fantastic. I mean, when you have a reaction that fast, what's probably on his screen is his hero in a position where it's at like the very top of the screen, or just basically his vision is nothing but enemy heroes. So like CS is the last thing on his mind, but just perfect reactions there from B-Kid. That was so super fast.
Going to the gym is definitely working off here for B-Kid.
He's doing some finger exercises. Have you ever seen that?
I can't.
It's called Sit and Get Fit with this old lady, and she just does these finger exercises where she lifts a little like weighted
I wish
ball.
people could actually see. Like you're actually showing me right now. You know, doing the finger exercise.
Check it out, guys. It's called Sit and Get Fit.
Sit and Get Fit. Big shout out. I'm guessing that's a YouTube channel or something.
I don't know. I just saw it on some like local channel a long time ago.
Right on. Did B-Kid show that to you?
No, but I'm going to show that to him.
Yeah, make sure he's aware of being physically fit. So, anyways, at the bottom lane, we do see a push coming out here, of course, coming out from our Hellborn team in Complexity. Now, Chessie has finished that Shrunken Head, as you stated. That definitely makes sense here. For them, they don't have a Soul's Bulwark yet, neither Pebbles or Warbeast, but we are going to see a jump from Warbeast, but the counter jump from Max in comes by him with an ultimate, and Warbeast ultimate activated, Shrunken Head. It's Bubbles caught now. We do have Polywalk Priest dead. Bubbles, though, able to show us her way. Going to be fine. You see Warbeast trying to do damage in the background. The Plague is going to do a lot of damage, actually. Bouncing back and forth between Glacius and Pebbles. Won't get a kill, actually. Very good split between them, too, as it is a 2-for-1 exchange so far. Behemoth and a Luna for Polywalk Priest currently. This tower is still alive, though, and the Legion team is still fine for now, but Pebbles jumps back in, and Jonas and Fan will fall. Can they get Pebbles to pay for his life at least? Yes, they can. Pebbles, it looks like, will also die right here. Oh, my God. Is he actually going to get away? No, he's not. He will go down, but they did get the tower as well. So, in the end, Complexity definitely coming out on top there, but our Legion side actually not that bad of a hold when it's all said and done. It was a great counter initiation, but Complexity did play very well themselves.
Yeah, that was a really, really good play, Goldman, actually. Did a lot of bouncing, but a finally good spread. At first, it was doing a lot of damage between Pebbles and Franzi, or Glacius, I should say. But finally got the spread, and the Glacius was able to live and port out. B-Kid jumping in on the FA, I'm totally fine with that. If there's anybody you need to shut down in this Legion team, it's FA. Now, she actually has a decent farm, considering how she is 3-6-1, excuse me. But Chessie, man, look at his farm. He's almost 500 gold per minute.
Yeah.
He's got that Chunkin head up, and now it looks like he's going to go. I've seen him do this build, actually. He's going to go for a shield breaker. Personally, I don't really like it. I like going the demonic, the early bulwark. I think it synergizes really well with the hero, but we'll probably see it. I'll tell you, it's going to do a ton of damage. It's going to do a lot of damage, but yeah, we'll see.
What about the argument? This actually does a little bit curious now, because I know it happened to be a game that you weren't here to cast, I believe it was, but Bryce did get Harkons on Warbeast. I believe it was against FYKU even in that Group C there. That was, a lot of that had to do with them going up against a Plague Rider, applying that mass armor buff to his team, of course, which is, I believe, +8 armor when it's maxed out. Yes, it is. Is there, would you think the a possibility of a Harkons could be fitting here for Warbeast?
Not right now. Harkons would be like way late game when you're really armor stacking. 20 armor on Moraxis right now. He doesn't even have. Actually, he does have the Cursed Shield applied, so now he has 12 armor. That's really nothing. I mean, it's decent. It's a decent amount of armor, and he also, even with his level 3 Arcane Shield, would now add 6 armor. So you look at the other heroes like a Luna, 5 armor, FA. She's got 16 because she's an agility hero, and she has that ring, or the Ring of the Teacher. But it's not like your Armadon where you're stacking like 50 armor or something like that. So
true, yeah.
Yeah, getting a Harkon's Blade right here really wouldn't be that effective. Maybe, yeah, like I said, maybe in the really late game, or maybe when all enemies on the Legion team have null talismans, or sorry, void talismans.
Yeah, void. Yeah, and actually on the note, Plague Rider, he does have one. I was going to bring that up to you as well. get your thoughts on that. But yeah, Sequence picking up the Void Talisman again, especially against a War Beast. That just seems like such a clutch item. Now, granted, it is one of those very careful situations because you look at the Hellborn team and actually surrounding War Beast, it's a lot of magical damage coming out. So you do got to be careful. You got to make sure that's really only War Beast, the one on you maybe in the background, which very likely could be the case. But at the same time, it could also amplify Pebbles and Bubbles and Polywog Priest even. So. A little bit careful with that. But on that note, I mean, do you still think it's worthy of the pickup, of course?
Yeah, definitely do. Now, let's see some other pickups right here. We got an Arcana coming out on Bubbles. The Shrunken Head picked up on Pebbles is huge. And it's really, really big, especially against the Legion side. Now, the Hellflower is completed on Meraxis. If they're able to get that jump onto War Beast before he gets anything off, they're going to destroy the fight. Like, they're going to absolutely own. But Kongor is being attempted, and it's actually dying very, very quickly. War Beast doing so much damage right now. The Shieldbreaker 3 delivered, I'm assuming. Yes, Shieldbreaker 3 delivered. So now he's going to have that Token of Light to work with. So now the strategy of going on War Beast is kind of out the window. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. Now you can still say, you know, maybe getting a jump on a Pebbles if they find that could still be pretty powerful. But
yes,
yeah, that obviously War Beast would definitely be that #1 candidate. But now with him having that token, it really does take away from it because he could say, you know what, go ahead and kill me, use everything on me. I'm gonna go ahead and come right back up and then destroy you after.
Oh, no, FA.
Oh yeah, FA. The Snodder bosses are not worth it. He's gonna get hexed right here. Out comes a Ward Trap, and Forsaken Archer is more than dead. War Beast is just gonna tear him a new one. Down he goes. Plague Order gets caught. He will activate the Void Talisman, but War Beast is just so powerful right now. Meraxis is also gonna drop. That just was ugly written all over there for the Legion team.
I don't really
know.
It
really worth farming the Snodder bosses? Probably not. Oof, big catch there for Hellborn team.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, your team's way above you. You know the catching potential of this entire team. You got to blink on 3 different heroes that can all keep you in place or stun you or hex you. There's just no business of farming that, and you're, as a Forsaken Archer, you're the target that they're going to go for, if not Plague. And so your positioning has to be pristine, and this is a direct result of Complexity really taking over this game. Unfortunately, he's 3-7-1. He was that farmer. It should have been the free farmer in that top lane, and he really has nothing. I mean, we're almost 30 minutes in the game, and he's barely got 300 gold per minute. I mean, a little bit over, that's fine. But you look at War Beast, who actually did get somewhat shut down. He had to go into Legion jungle, and you never really want to do that because it's a little bit better to farm your the Hellborn jungle as a War Beast. But you look at Jesse, he's 510 gold per minute, and he's definitely paying well. But unfortunately, FA is just kind of getting caught here, but it's costing them a lot.
Yeah, it is showing. I mean, he's got the Whispering Helm Firebrand, which actually, you know, again, isn't too bad, but it's just not comparing right now, especially with the circumstances of how the game started. You got Beakit, of course, on Pebbles, how he was locked down, and yeah, with him being 366 GPM, so it's actually going to be a tough road to climb here now for FiT, now to say the least. Obviously not over yet by any means, but they are going to need some nice pickoffs here and there and some good pushing as a result of that. They still have that Hellflower, obviously, on Meraxis, and getting that jump, but at this point, 4.5 minutes at least still remain on Chessie's Token of Life. Now, they are going to go for a jump right here. Actually, Polo Priest in a little bit of trouble. Behemoth got jumped first, but Meraxis getting countered on, and he's going to fall before he can even activate the ultimate, I believe. Or no, he even did have it up, but he just got bursted too much right there. As a Luna and Forsaken Archer are trying to fall back. Panny, can he get away? He gets frozen. He's going to drop. Oh, but a great play. Unfortunately, not the greatest, actually, as the blink happened. And Glacius will end up falling still, but really is that worth it? Forsaken Archer goes down. It is just falling apart here, left and right for FiT. And Complexity is probably cheering right now because they are, very likely on their way to succeeding a victory. These last couple of fights have just been pretty ugly here for Better Looking Than You, because while that was all happening, War Beast is just having a good time here. He wasn't even there. He's just having a good time at the top lane, pushing it in. We did see even some Moon Meander very aware of that, apparently, wondering why his teammate wasn't there, but obviously it didn't matter. I mean, they got the genocide pretty much. So
well, that's really scary when the one hero that you should be scared of doesn't even need to be there.
Yeah.
He's your top farm in the game, but yeah, I want to say in that last fight, that was definitely won by Moon Meander. The initiation happened there on a poly, but Moon Meander smartly went behind the initiation, and so went for the follow-up stuns that were coming out from Behemoth and was able to completely nullify him. So really, really good job there by Moon. Did exactly what he needed to do. Now we got a Brutalizer pick up there on War Beast. Again, I mean, I really like the Monic with the Brutalizer because you get that extra attack speed. It doesn't really matter, though, at this point because he is so damn farmed. So he could pretty much buy whatever the hell he wants.
You see War Beast, that's another great thing about this hero, of course, as well. I mean, if he happens to start getting caught out a little bit, he activates the ulti and just hastes away as if nothing even happens. That's definitely a case right there. But again, he has a token of life still for another really just under 3 minutes now. It's ridiculous. He's going to get a double damage rune here as well. His ulti will be up in about 15 seconds. Now, Meraxes catches Bubbles here. Great power throw on top. And it will be a combo for a kill, but now Meraxes needs to run away. He's going to throw those axes out. One will hit the Hellhound, though. But War Beast is still
going to do so much damage.
Yeah, he has his ulti up in 2 seconds. Is he going to look to use it right here? The rest of the team is coming. He's going to need to use it. He's getting completely locked down, actually. And War Beast will end up falling. He probably should have an ulti here. Okay, yeah, he is going to die. So now Token of Life will bring him right back up. And here comes the ulti. Not even using it, actually. He is Hellflowered. He has a shrunken head still. It doesn't even matter. The rest of the team just supporting him so well. Plague Water being tongue-tied in the meantime. There goes the ulti from War Beast. Hat trick coming out for Chessie. And Forsaken Archer is like, don't worry, guys, I'm farming these creeps up here. My goal per minute is ridiculous right now. No, it's not really. No, obviously just having a little bit of fun there. But Complexity is just tearing apart FiT right now. And it's unfortunate because we've stressed so much this series going into it. FiT absolutely needs to win here to even have a chance of moving on. But if Complexity wins, well, it's going to be Complexity and Team It's Gosu, really, no matter what happens now with the next matchup. So it's looking like that is going to be the case. But again, it's still not officially over yet. So we'll see, but 31 minutes in, Complexity looks like they're on their way to a victory here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. They looked so good early on in this game. Their lanes were superb. They did some great roaming onto Bubbles as well as Chessie, and they moved around where they needed to, and they really opened up the map. Oh my god, Behemoth just gets 2-shot there. First hit bash. And can he get a bash on this Forsaken Archer? One more hit? No, he's not going to get it. And actually, he might even fall here, but he has that Shrunken Head activated. Blinking coming from Meraxes, but just too fast with that haste movement speed coming out from Chessie. But yeah, they started out really well. They're actually going to still pursue him. Bubbles is coming up with the Kel Field, though. The combo with B-Kid. He activates that Shrunken Head, and they are all going to fall. Junison Fan actually walks out of the Kel Field, gets stunned. Additionally, Chessie able to actually get taken out by Meraxes, but Meraxes will fall to Moon Meander as well. So yeah, this game is it's pretty much over at this point. More initiation coming on of Plague, actually quite tanky though, able to survive all that. Moon Meander though pursuing Aluna. Aluna does fall. Plague Rider is going to be probably the next in line. Archie Taker comes out, but good take cover there from Moon Meander as he will march on away and try to retreat this out of the base. Polywall coming in, jumping out. Seems like a fight that will never end. He goes on the Plague, but then jumps on the Behemoth. Wards are dropped, and this is just not ending. FiT's just getting taken out over and over.
And War Beast is back.
And War Beast bought out, and now he's in the mid lane. So I definitely would see a GG well played coming out right now.
Yeah.
But
I hate to do it because obviously this is it for FiT. Obviously losing this, but it becomes a point where it is over. I mean, you could, with that said, obviously you could just let it in the old-fashioned way. Nothing wrong with that. Letting the tower get destroyed. But we do see the GG well playeds coming out. Obviously, Architect are very aware, and that's his FiT. They know what the situation is now. But Complexity, on obviously a very positive note there, that means both Complexity and Team It's Gosu are going to be advancing from Group B. We have our first 2 teams officially that are going to be advancing on. Mathematically, no matter what happens in the next game, both of these teams will be moving on now as a result of the victory here by Complexity 2-0 over FiT. So congratulations to both Complexity and Team It's Gosu. But, you know, for FiT, you got to feel for them because obviously a very good team in their own right. They have had some success against this team in the past, and, you know, they were that third team that had a very good chance themselves of moving on as well. But the road does end here for them as far as moving on, that is. So.
Yeah, definitely. Complexity just played their game, like Moon said. They just came, played the game. Ban those cheesy heroes that they think that are cheesy. I agree with them. I mean, Jeremiah is very, very hard to play against. B-Kid's been banning Fade a lot lately. Very annoying hero to play against. And they played really well. The second game, it wasn't so much their Complexity strategy. In fact, with the lanes that FiT had, I actually think that their lanes were super strong and had them pretty much won in every lane. The only lane that they should have maybe kind of been even was the mid lane with Meraxes against the Poly. But even then, Meraxes with the Shield Hatchet can just pretty much get every CS he wants to. Mm-hmm. So that being said, they really won every single lane. They won top, they roamed bottom, killed him, they killed mid. But then what happened? They just kind of threw in between. it's kind of hard to say. Some major pickoffs happening on that Forsaken Archer, the bottom lane especially. But even before that, they had a little bit of feeding and was able to bounce back B-Kid's farm, and he got a really good portal key actually, despite his really rough start there.
Yeah.
I think he had something like a Steam Boots portal key at 14 minutes, despite going against that tri-lane and really getting nothing at all. So great job by B-Kid. Always seems to bounce back and farm, even though he started out with a really hard lane.
Yeah, Complexity is just such an impressive team. Obviously very deserving to move on to the quarterfinals, and I think it is safe to say, especially with Fnatic, their situation, and them ultimately not necessarily dropping out, but obviously they are not going to be advancing on now because of their results there in Group D. Complexity is a team that really every other team is looking at right now, as that is the best. You know, if we get matched up against them, we are going to have to play our A+ game, no doubt, to have a chance of being there, because for a very good reason. Again, the roster that they have right now, the way that they're playing, it really is coming together for this Complexity team, and that's dangerous for every other team out there. So, not to say that they are unbeatable by any means, because I definitely think every team is definitely beatable at this point by many teams. Again, our competitive team is really strong right now, but it is going to be tough to say the least. Now,
I did want to say, Swindle's team DDoS actually just scrimmed them and has beat them a number of times, but they did use Demented Shaman. So
we know about that when they play Clan Milk.
Gotta watch out for that Demented Shaman.
Gotta ban that Demented Shaman.
I may or may not have ruined his strategy completely, but I'm sure they'll find something else.
Yeah, I'm sure. On that note, too, though, I wanted to confirm this, and I've been saying how it's official now, Complexity and Team It's Ghost are going to be moving on. Hold that thought for a second. Actually, and I'm looking at it once again right here and doing the math. Actually, it is not official. Now, Complexity it is. Complexity is moving on no matter what, whether it's the 1 or 2 seed.
Sure.
Team It's Gosu plays Saishi tomorrow. If Saishi beats Team It's Gosu, they will both very likely end the season with a 5-2 record. And because of the head-to-head matchup with Saishi defeating Team It's Gosu, Saishi would be moving on.
Huh.
So, holy crap. I'm sitting here thinking that it's actually pretty much over here in Group E, but it is not. It isn't. And it just so happens tomorrow is going to be that match we're looking to cover. So, back-to-back days, we basically have elimination matches here on Honcast, which is definitely a good feeling here for the group stages. And wouldn't that be something? I mean, Saishi, coming out of nowhere, if they defeat Team It's Gosu, they will be moving on over Team It's Gosu, which would be very, very interesting there. So, actually, you know what? Okay, but anyway, so yeah, we'll stick with that. It's anything can happen, to say the least. So, anyways, yeah, that's a big matchup tomorrow. On that note, though, I believe once again we are going to be joined by Moon Meander, going to be coming back to talk to us about how the game went. Moon, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty standard game. Once again, we banned cheese, like I told you. I'm doing pretty good, pretty happy. We're pretty happy with the results, even though, like every game, we could have played better, and we're gonna work on it. We did make some mistakes early game on getting roamed a little bit too hard. We will rectify the problem and come back stronger next game.
Awesome. Yeah, that's definitely good to hear. You, but like you said, and as we saw there, you take care of the cheese heroes in that selection stage, and sure enough, seemed to work out pretty effectively for you guys. So it was a pretty, I don't want to say